Hello again. Today we will now continue where we left off on dimensions and themes. Now, as a recap, you go to the bottom right hand corner for project properties, and then right here would be to adjust your dimensions, and then preferably 1366 by 768 px would be good dimensions, especially if you're on desktop view. Now that said though, depending on if your learning module is viewable on a tablet or let's say on a phone, then it would be best practice to make sure which kind of training that you want or how to be viewed and engaged on which device. That said though, for the most part, for all intents and purposes, for MIST, we are of course mostly on desktop computers, and so we will stick with that model in the meantime. And of course I touch a bit briefly on changing your theme and editing it to also to better highlight your instructional modules for better visibility, and in some cases for accessibility. And in this case, how about we of course go to visual properties and then make this text a little more on the white side for better contrast. There we go. It'll take a little bit of a moment to change, and when it does, that would stick out a little bit more. And on top of that, there's also making your text a little bit bigger, and that would be of course font here. Now depending on how you want your lessons to be viewed, it would be best to make sure that your dimensions don't go too overboard, or else they might be a little too spread out for your learners. And so with the contrast right here, it shows up a little more sharply. Same thing with this other slide here too. And anywho, moving forward, we will now of course go over the TOC player from last time. So we will now of course do this right now, and you click of course the top right hand side for preview. And while it's loading, here we go. And make sure to do this whenever you want to make sure that your text shows up. Now of course there is a little bit of a glitch right now whenever we scroll here. So stuff like this is best to make sure that you squash in advance. And of course making sure that all of your text shows up as it should is best practice, as well as making sure that your accessibility features happen responsively and as intended. And look here, and audio is playing, which also counts as accessibility. And of course make sure everything is clickable. And it looks like for the most part things are running smoothly, except for maybe some text issues. And it is very important to really make sure that your learning modules are responding as intended, because for the final component we will be going over the process of embedding your content in your LMS of choice. Now for the sake of this tutorial series, we are going to go over embedding your content on Canvas. So, all that said, thank you for watching and listening. Have a good day.